Hello again. So this video is a continuation of our part 1 video. In the last video I was trying to create another rule to define the non-renewable resources. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste, and I'm going to do edit. I'm going to call it non-renewable energy, and I'm going to do this. And for the non-renewable resources, okay, let us go back to our data set over here, and let us try to find out what other the unique kind of data that's there in this section. So for that, what I'll do is I'll go to data, I'll go to advanced, and click on this one, and I'd like it to be copied to somewhere over here, and I'll do it OK. So this field over here, it gives me the list of unique kind of data points that's there in the primary fuels section. So I have already labeled, okay, let me reduce the size of this one, reduce it. Okay. So for the renewable resources, I've already labeled biomass, geothermal, solar, and all of these as the renewable resources. So for the non-renewable resources, I'd like to have nuclear, coal, and what else? Oil, pet coke, so I'd like to have what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to instruct QGIS that anytime it comes across the variable names as nuclear, coal, oil, and pet coke in the primary fuel column, label it as non-renewable energy. So I'm going to click on OK, and okay, I would like to have it a different color. So okay, this one looks better. I'll do apply here. So now there are also other fuel type energy remaining, such as others, and I think the one that we have not included in any of the two categories over here is cogeneration and storage. So we'd like to label this remaining primary fuel that is neither renewable nor non-renewable as other energy sources. So I'm going to repeat what we did earlier for non-renewable energy. We're going to copy and paste the rule, and then we're going to click over here, and we're going to do else, catch all other features, and we're going to do other resources, and to we'd like it to have a simple marker, but we would like it to be indicated by a different color, let's say yellow. So we'll do apply, we'll go back, and here we have 3 different energy resources that is classified as renewable energy, non-renewable energy, and other resources. So now I think our data points over here they give us more information. For instance, we know that in this part of the world uses non-renewable energy, while this part of the world, which I think is Europe, uses more renewable resources of energy. And there are a couple of places here and there in this world map which uses other kind of resources which do not fall in the category of renewable and non-renewable resource of energy according to how we have defined renewable and non-renewable. So this over here, it gives us a pretty good information, and we can also see a pattern. But at the beginning of the class, we also said that we'd like to categorize the data points based on their energy generating capacity. So now that we have a data set that now that we have a data points that gives us information of which part of the world uses more renewable resources than the non-renewable resources, what we'd like to do is we'd also like to categorize this very same data points based on their energy generating capacity. So let's go back to our data set over here, and there is this field called capacity underscore megawatts, which gives us information on the energy capacity of each of these power plants in each of these countries. But again, the point that we should keep it in our mind is some of the data points are very low in two digits, and some are in 4 digits. So to make it uniform, the mathematical to make these kind of data more uniform, the mathematical technique that we use is to use the log value. So we will do the same thing. So going back to our data set over here, what we will do is we will do change size. You can change the size of the circle or the bubble over here by making changes to this one, but I'm happy with the size of 2, so I will leave it the way it is. And then I will click on edit, because I want each of these data points to be defined depending on their energy capacity, because we have already classified the power plants as renewable or non-renewable resources. We also would like to classify the same power plants depending on the amount of capacity they have. So for that, I'll go over here, and remember earlier I said that one of the techniques to make the data point uniform when you have 2-digit data and 4 digits data is to have it to use a logarithmic function. So that is the technique we are going to utilize over here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use log 10. You can also use log 100, but I think QGIS only has the feature of using log 10. But let's see, if this does not work, we will switch back to log 10 capacity MW, and then I'm going to do +2. Okay, it's okay, function is not known. Okay, so I was right. So log 100 is a function that is not recognized by QGIS, but log 10 is recognized by QGIS as one of the valid functions, so I'm going to stick it to log 10. And capacity underscore MW, because this is the column name over here, so I'm going to over here, and you can put in, like, 5, anything that you want, but for my own convenience I just use +2. So I'm going to do it. Okay, and okay. Ooh, this is okay. Again, I'm going to do the same thing for non-renewable energy as well. I'm going to go to edit, log 10 of capacity MW +2. But remember, because I use +2 for the renewable energy category, I'm going to have to use the same plus value in other categories as well. So if we use +5 in the other category, make sure you use the same value over here as well. I'm just going to copy this one. Okay, I'm going to hit an OK. Okay, and again the same thing over here as well. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do OK. Alright. I feel that the sizes here are a little too big, at least for my screen, so I'm going to change size again. And I'm going to do +1 maybe, or I'll do just like 0.5. I will do the same thing over here as well. Okay, I think this one looks a little better than what it looked previously. So I'll just try to zoom into one of the layers. Okay. So trying to analyze some patterns and trying to answer some research questions that we have from here, what we can say is there are more non-renewable energy resources that is being consumed, that gets more consumed in the American continent. And however, this part of the world, which is Europe, uses more renewable resources of energy. But because the bubble size is small, we can say that this power plant over here have small generating capacity. Likewise, if we go to to this part of the world, which I think is India and a bit of China, we can say that this part of the world uses more non-renewable energy resources. It partly uses renewable resources as well, but mostly, it uses the energy resource that it uses is non-renewable. So these are the kind of patterns that we can analyze from this data set.